The Epstein files. Should President Trump instruct the Department of Justice to release them? Like all politicians, President Trump has a number of different constituencies that he really resonates with. And one of those constituencies is what some people will call conspiracy theorists, what I will call people who believe that the government has covered up information about important events in an attempt to keep the politically powerful from being held accountable. And President Trump, over the decades, has been really feeding into these theories that important information is being withheld, from famously peddling the idea that President Obama was not actually born in the United States, to promising to release the FBI files about the assassination of both John F. Kennedy and his brother Bobby Kennedy, release the 9/11 files, which he claims shows Muslims dancing on the roofs of New York in celebration of the attack, and calling for audits of Fort Knox, claiming that somebody has stolen all the gold. One of the hallmarks of his candidacy has been promising a new kind of transparency into the government, not aiding in government cover-ups. And now he's in a bind because he promised the goods. So either he needs to deliver on the goods or he needs to admit that the goods were never there in the first place. The Epstein files will include a number of different documents. Number one is all the court documents and filings. 2 people were sentenced in connection to this horrific victimization of young women. Those court documents sued many names of high-profile people. Now, that doesn't mean they necessarily committed a crime, but it does establish connections between probably many very powerful people and this really horrific sex offender. Epstein files also include the evidence of abuse and sex trafficking, including testimony from the victims, descriptions of the abuse, and many images and videos. Files will include flight logs for what was called the Lolita Express. It's who traveled on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet, including trips to his own private island where much of this abuse supposedly took place. So many people have said that the files will also include a client list, or Ghislaine Maxwell's Little Black Book. And whether or not that exists, there is a wealth of information. And at this point, it seems like the only really good option the administration has is to make that information public, simply redacting the names of the victims. After Pam Bondi's stunt saying she had the list on her desk, after giving binders of information supposedly from the Epstein files to conservative influencers, it's very difficult for them to turn back now and just say, nothing to see here. What do you think? Do you agree with President Trump that this story just needs to go away? Or do you think the only way to close out this chapter is for the files to be released?